going to start off right since we are at the Hank Williams Museum. You're cheating hard will make you weep. You cry and try to sleep, but sleep won't come the whole night through, and you're cheating heart will tell on you. When tears come down like falling rain, you'll toss around and call my name. You'll walk the floor the whole night through, and your cheating heart will tell on you. Your cheating heart will find someday and crave the love you threw away. The time will come when you'll be blue, and your cheating heart will tell on you. When tears come down like falling rain, you'll toss around and call my name. You'll walk the floor the way I do, and your cheating heart will tell on you. Your cheating heart will tell on you. That song has always been very special to me. Alright, we're going to pick it up some and go back to the days with Bobby McGee. Dusty flat in Baton Rouge, waiting for a train. When I was feeling weary, stayed as my shoes. Bobby pumped the diesel out just before it rained. It rode us all the way to New Orleans. I pulled my harpoon out of my dirty red bandana. I was playing some while Bobby sang the blues. When she wiped her slapping time, I was holding Bobby's hand in mine. We sang every song that drive you. Freedom just
Schneider. I was back there with my hand on the door about 15 minutes ago, ready to come out, and I heard everybody's going to the bathroom. Then I didn't know if that was true. Turns out it was, and now I haven't gone to the bathroom. No. But I have something to drink here, which makes no sense to me. Thank you. Ooh, that's buzzing up here. Whoa. Me too. You're buzzing too? Well, you've been here long. Here, if you turn the stage monitors down just a little bit, I think that's what I'm hearing up here. I think down is the other way. Thank you, I'm going to the bathroom. What is it?
You need a cup?
He got a cup. Don't talk now. It won't change anything anyhow. Thank you. Just hold me while the shadows bring us near. I know you're not in love with me. I don't know why I'm looking at you. You're very uncomfortable. I'm not asking you to leave. There's no use pretending why we're here. You don't need to try and fool me. You don't need to lead me on. You don't need to say you love me, 'cause I've been around enough to know. Yeah! You know, I was 24 when I sang that song, and I thought I actually had been around enough to know, and I realize now at 58 I didn't know squat. I didn't know anything. Wait, I'll do this a lot, by the way. Wait, don't tell a lie, 'cause I just might be leaving tonight. Oh, and I know you're only trying to ease your mind. Can you see over there? Your mind, not you. I know you can see, but about her over there.
Not funny.
Your mind.
Not funny.
You're gonna get a crick in your neck. Wait a minute.
Not funny. You see? Not funny.
Is that better? Don't you worry. It's all right.
No.
Is that you, Scott?
I would never.
No. I don't care if it's wrong or it's right. Just hold me close and love me one more time. You don't need to try and fool me. You don't need to lead me on. You don't need to say you love me, 'cause I've been around enough to know. You don't need to say you love me, 'cause I've been around enough to know. caught between two pieces of wood or something. Are we in tune together? Let me hear a high E.
Yeah, that's good.
I'm low. I'm a little lower, I think, than you. I think I'm in tune with me, and you're in tune with you, but we are not tuned with us. He's going to stop yelling, whoa, if we keep that up. I think, okay, I think it's off. I really do. Oh, louder will make it sound better, yeah.
Do it!
Definitely.
Okay, let's try it. If it sounds awful, just get up and go away. What I get a kick out of, is a lot of people know Dukes of Hazzard, right? A lot of people knew Smallville. A lot of people know the haves and have-nots. And all that stuff. And a lot of people know the music. But even today, we met a bunch of people that didn't know the haves and have-nots in Smallville, and Dukes of Hazzard guy was the same guy that did the music.
Oh.
Yeah, so people say, I didn't know you sang. And they hear that song, and they go, I love that song. And I said, well, that was my song.
That's
and they
you.
said, no, it's not. I said, yeah.
It is.
It is, and then I'll do this one. I just do parts of songs. Now, this is the parts of songs part of the show. Been to California, where the ladies look so fine. They can take a long-haired country boy and softly bend his mind. Made love in New York City, where they dress in silk and pearls. Ah, but Lord, I swear there's nothing anywhere that's better than you country girls. Cause country girls are sweeter than Tupelo honey. And country girls warmer than a Georgia sun. Yeah, they know how to touch you, know how to love you, take you right out of this world. And I'm so glad that God made country girls. There's women in Chicago in their high-rise penthouse rooms with fine champagne and other things you could drown in their perfume. But I'll take a night down in Mobile, just looking out across the bay, with a country girl lying next to me, taking my breath away. Cause country girls are sweeter than Tupelo honey. Yes, sing it. Yes, it is. And country girls warmer than a Georgia sun. Yeah, they know how to touch you, know how to love you, take you right out of this world. And I'm so glad that God made country girls. Yeah, I'm so glad that God made you country girls.
Yeah.
Thank you. It's so cool to be here, especially here. We did, Alicia and I did a tour of the museum earlier today. Got taking my picture with the car, which is not allowed, but you know, it's a car, so special compensation was, or dispensation, special compensation. Special dispensation for special compensation was allowed.
Sure. Yeah.
It's all about the words. We did a new album project this year. In fact, we released a new single every Tuesday of 2018. so far. It's called the Odyssey, and we're going to release a song for the whole rest of the year, one every Tuesday. And a couple of them are his songs. Great songs. Yeah. In fact, let's do. Uh-oh. I hit the right one in a minute. I think let me make sure this is there. So this is a song that, I don't know if you've read any of the, this is a song that kind of got me in trouble the second week in January.
Yeah, he was born at 69.
I've been getting in trouble for years. I just didn't know how in trouble I was getting. But this is a song that Bobby wrote, and I'm saying that live on Facebook. Bobby wrote this song. I did not write this song, so there was no malice intended when I recorded it. Only truth.
Is this the one with Jim Martin and Whispering Bill?
Yeah!
No. Or did he write the... Yes.
I love the story you tell. We fooled John the first time he heard this song.
Here, I'm going to do background music for you.
I had never actually met him. We were writing, he and Bill Anderson and I. And Bill was like, man, play him this sad little Heartbreak song.
Yes. So then, this one sits on the couch, and Bill said, oh my gosh, you've got to play it. Because, you know, he did that at the sound of the tone, we're on your own, you're goodbye. He did that, and he loves really sad songs. So Bobby sat down and played this. She always spoke of going back to Texas. Do you know this song?
Well, yeah, we do.
And again, she sure did like Key West.
Yeah.
That's how he said it. West. Heaven only knows where my ex is. But at least she's given my poor old heart some rest. And I'm thinking, this is so, it's like Amarillo by Morning. This is a classic country song. This is beautiful, man. Then he says, wherever she is, I hope. And I'm still thinking, this is a beautiful song. She stays there. Whoever she's with, he's welcome to my nightmare. And about there, I'm thinking, this is my favorite song. Sure is nice, it's paradise without her in my hair. Wherever she is, I hope she stays there. She can see you, she's right there. Oh, dad and daughter, that's okay, that's okay. Well, she told me you ain't nothing like my daddy. She told me how to dress and how to drive. Really, drive? She told me you don't kiss like my old boyfriend. But my favorite thing she ever told me was goodbye. Wherever she is, I hope she stays there. Whoever she's with, he's welcome to my nightmare. It sure is nice, it's paradise without her in my hair. Wherever she is, I hope she stays there. And in case that woman ever gets the urge to find me, I got a new phone number, a new email, and an unlisted driveway. Timbuktu, Kalamazoo, Malibu, I don't care. Wherever she is, I hope she stays there. And girl, if you're listening on Facebook somewhere, please there. Smitty Travels. Hey, you got it. Thank you so much. And thank you for writing that.
Nice song,
I think it's so cool. Yeah.
Yep.
Finally found a home for that song.
We're gonna cut. We don't know this song, so we shouldn't play any of it for you, but I think we should. Just a little bit of we're just I'm gonna miss him.
All that fishing, football betting, he was my best bud.
Beer conversation, hunting vacation. It'll never be like it was. To hell with her. I'm gonna miss him. Now, before you get the wrong idea, my girl Bill, she's my girl, right? So I'm gonna miss him. I told Bobby, I said one of my favorite sayings of all time is my best friend, my wife just ran away with my best friend, I'm sure gonna miss him. So I thought that would be a perfect backup song too. She always spoke of going back. So next week we're gonna cut that, and it's all about how you all of a sudden you saw your best friend with your wife live on Facebook from the Bahamas. And the difference between you and him is you know what's coming. Right? So you feel sorry for the poor guy. Can I get an amen? Oh, speaking of that, here's one off the Odyssey album. By the way, we do have the Odyssey here. We have the first two of 52. We have the first two CDs of 6 CDs. They're here. The Odyssey Beginnings and Wanderlust. And this song is on there. One's got stained glass, the sun dances through. The other's got neon that flashes, that's the wrong chord, flashes blue moon. The door's always open, no matter who you are. Well, that's how it is with churches and bars. Can I get an amen for preachers and bartenders, those broken heart menders who welcome you in? They're always there when life gets too hard. That's how it is with churches and bars. The other serves beer, and they never ask, what are you doing here? I know it sounds crazy, but it ain't that bizarre. That's just how it is with churches and bars. Can I get an for preachers and bartenders, passively, those broken heart menders who welcome you in? They're always there when things fall apart. That's how it is with churches and bars. They're always there when things fall apart. Well, that's how it is with churches bar. Thank you. Thank you so much. I don't know if you know this one or not. I'm sure you do. The only tricky part is it goes to...
Yes. No.
Okay, that's the hardest part in it. This is, he has no idea what I'm going to do next. And neither do I. This is a song we had out for Memorial Day. There's a great video out there if you go to johnschneiderstudios.com. Or please go, like, if you're a Facebooker, please go to Facebook and like John Schneider Studios.
You know it.
How many people saw me blow up the outhouse last week? Okay, well, we're almost at 350,000 views of that, so the rest of you are missing out. It's fun. We recreated the bow and arrow dynamite blow up the outhouse at John Schneider Studios. And there's a hole in the ground where there's a hole in the ground where the outhouse used to be. There's a hole in the ground where that outhouse used to been. That's how you would say it down here, right? Yeah. Hole in the outhouse. Now, anyway, can I buy you a beer? Just need a moment of your time, and I'll get out of your hair. Let you get on with the rest of your night. I saw the flag on your shoulder, saw the stripes up there on your sleeve. So I just had to come over, make sure you know that your next round is on me. How many veterans do we have in here? For your service every month. Can I buy you a beer or two? It's the least I can do. By the way, it's just a song. Just realized that. 1, 2, 3, 4. No, we'll do that for the veterans. Can I buy you a beer or two? It's the least I can do. A humble salute of my gratitude for your sacrifice. Veterans, if you want a beer, it's on me. Seriously. Laying it on the line. Always in my heart and in my prayers. So can I buy you a beer? Wish it were more than a gesture. Can't hold a candle to what you do, but I want you to know it's never unnoticed, and I got your back too. While I'm holding the woman I love, you're missing yours for miles and years. I'm with my boys at the bar, you're with yours and God knows where, making sure that the coast is clear. So can I buy you a beer or two? It's the least I can do. A humble salute of my gratitude for your sacrifice. Laying it on the line. Can I shake your hand, say thank you, man, 'cause you're kicking ass, so I'm raising my glass, 'cause it's long overdue. This one's for you. Here's that minor chord. You're always in my heart and in my prayers. Yeah, you're always in my heart and in my prayers. You know, you're always in my heart and in my prayers. So hey, can I buy you a beer? So, like I said, it's always been about the words to me. This was a song in the key of dog from a long, long time ago that was a #1 song. By the way, Been Around Enough to Know was a #1 song.
Yeah.
Country Girls was a #1 song.
MCA.
But that was back before the barcode, so nobody really got paid.
True that.
But this was my third #1 song, and gosh, I love this song. If I can remember this song. What? No, I've got all the other songs in the key of dog in my mind. Well, I don't need someone for new inspiration. Don't need a strong drink or two. Thank you. No soft lights, no music or warm conversation. There's no substitution for you. 'Cause I've got all that I need to be happy. Your love makes everything right. You're the first thing that I'll need tomorrow, and the last thing I needed tonight. You're the last thing I needed. You always are. I can't wait for the day to end. You're the last thing I needed to hold in my arms. If I should never wake up again, I'll always find you somewhere in my dreams. I know when I close my eyes, you're the first thing that I'll need tomorrow, and the last thing I needed tonight.
Yeah!
You're the first thing that I'll need tomorrow, and the last thing I needed tonight. Thank you so much. Now I'm out of tune. How's that end of that? A minute. Oh, heck.
Come on now.
Let's play something else in the key of dog.
Yeah.
Roll Tide.
Oh, stop it.
What'd you say?
Roll Tide. Go Tigers.
Key of dog, roll tide.
Yep. Go Tigers.
Oh my gosh, you didn't
Go
say
Tigers, roll tide. What does either one of those have to do with the key of dog?
Nothing. There's a never
There's never a bad moment. The sunbeam hits the Jim Beam and ricocheted off a bottle of Coke. Then it cut through the still smoldering second-hand night before smoke. With the whiskey half empty, half in me, both my enemy and friend. God, I love country music. Tonight helped drown the sorrow, but today is tomorrow again.
Yeah!
Wow.
When you fall for an angel like her, you're walking on clouds. 'Cause when you're in love, you're so up, you forget to look down. The higher and higher she took me, the further I fell. And it's angels like her that send guys like me straight to hell. There's a ring on her forehead. On the picture where the bottle sat last
Oh
night.
my gosh.
It might look like a a halo, but I know it's a trick of the light. And that smile on her face has a way to fool any old fool. Yes, she came straight from heaven, but remember, the devil did too. When you fall for an angel like her, you're walking on clouds. When you're in love, you're so up, you forget to look down. Thank you, thank you, thank you.
That's your next number one right there.
Now, not all that, isn't it great? Isn't that a great song? I love it. Now, not all the songs are like about love gone wrong. A lot of them are. I got a friend, his name is John. A few weeks ago he got cheated on. He don't care, he's glad she's gone. He gonna put it in a country song. We're working on that one. I have to live a little bit longer and then I'm gonna finish that one. I'm not quite sure how that one ends. No, what rhymes with prison? He's a wishing, no, but this is a song that is actually about a love gone right.
Yeah!
It has one of my favorite lyrics of all time in it. He wrote my other favorite lyrics of all time. We'll do that coming up. But I want to prove to you that not all the songs I do are kind of tongue-in-cheek about, you know, I know you took the truck and the dog. Would you please bring my truck back? This is used to be never catch me on my knees praying to anyone, praying for anything. Just figured I was down here on my own, just another lonely soul kicking dust down a lonely road. But you showed up and made me a believer. Woo! That there's something bigger out there looking out for me. 'Cause without your love, I know I wouldn't be here. Don't know what you see in me makes you want to see this through. But thank God you do. Thank God you do.
Yeah.
Now when the day goes dark, I can see the light. It ain't that hard to find, 'cause it's right there in your eyes. Your faith in me that I can be a better man. When you're holding me, girl, I know I can. You showed up and made me a believer. Woo! That there's something bigger out there looking out for me. 'Cause without your love, I know I wouldn't be here. Don't know what you see in me that makes you want to see this through. But thank God you do. Thank God you do. Thank God you do. Thank God you do. Thank you. I appreciate that. Let's see. I don't know if you know this one. Call her up. Say I'm sorry. Can't have love Did you know I sang that song?
I did.
Okay, thank you. I thought you was, oh my God! I just figured it out. You sang that song. Because the boss just called and he's flying. Uh-oh. Boss just called and he's flying in from L.A. As the phone rang, I remember the time, how happy we used to be. Then a voice came on the line, not her, but the answer machine.
Yeah.
She said, I'm sorry, I can't take your call, 'cause I'm packing up to go away. And John, if that's you, you're just canceling lunch anyway. Oh, you used to find the time, but now you don't even try. At the sound of the tone, you're on your own. Goodbye. That's so cool.
That's cool, dude. That's cool.
I ran down to the street, called a cab. God, I had to get back home. But the house was empty, except for the coat of foam. As the tears came, I remembered a time, how happy we used to be. And I'll never forget the last words she ever said to me. She said, I'm sorry, I can't take your call, 'cause I'm packing up to go away. And John, if that's you, you're just canceling lunch anyway. Oh, you used to find the time, but now you don't even try. At the sound of the tone, you're on your own. Goodbye. She said you used to find the time, but now you don't even try. At the sound of the tone, you're on your own. Goodbye. Thank you. Get that man a cough drop. Have some ice cubes. Thank you. Thank you. What's that? I'm sorry, I thought somebody was talking over there.
Hey, John, I don't know if you heard before you were introduced, but there's a lady out there that was here 30 years ago and saw you in Conway Twitty here in
I love touring with Conway. Conway was great.
Right?
Yeah, Conway was wonderful. And Conway was the one that told me that there's most anybody can tell the difference between a bad song and a good song. And it gets a little harder to tell the difference between a good song and a great song. But he said where the magic is when you can tell the difference between a great song and an exceptional song. And according to Conway, the songs that I picked, I have to agree. I pick exceptional songs. There's not even just a great song in this bunch of songs. These are exceptional songs, and he had a lot to do with a bunch of them. So yeah. Recite it first so you can see how tricky this stuff is. An exceptional song sounds like somebody speaking. They were all kinds of crazy, but it kept them from going insane. Old Hag had been to prison and Johnny told him not to be ashamed. If you tell the world the truth, then you can always look him in the eye.
Yeah.
Then along came Ramblin' Man, take me back home, and Mama tried.
That's right.
Hank never knew his daddy, but he carried on his name with his own voice. It was as if the hand of destiny said, son, take this guitar, you have no choice. And it led him to that mountaintop where it nearly took his life. But he lived to write a book of songs about how a country boy survived. Woo! Right, now that does not necessarily sound like a song. That sounds like poetry. It sounds like somebody could just speak that. Right? So here's the song. Just vamp there for here. Wait, no, we can't both pour, we'll have a mess. Just do it right there. Okay, but I want it in that fancy cup. Just yeah. Do that. Now do that.
Is that
Now do
Jackie?
this.
Jackie?
Thank you, thank you.
That is Jackie.
They were all kinds of crazy, but it kept them from going insane. Old Hag had been to prison. Johnny told him not to be ashamed. Said if you tell the world the truth, then you can't always look them in the eye. Then along came a rambling man, sing me back home, and Mama tried. Hank never knew his daddy, but he carried on his name with his own voice. As if the hand of destiny said, son, take this guitar, you have no choice. And it led him to that mountaintop where he nearly lost his life. But he lived to write a book of songs about how a country boy survived. They lived it up and wrote it down. They were more than drugstore cowboys. They've been bucked and bruised and kicked around. They took their pain, their voices rang, till the whole world sang that country sound. All because they lived it up and then lived to write it down. It's got to come around again. Why not? They didn't understand him when he wore his mohair suits and skinny ties. So Willie took old Trigger, said you can kiss my Nashville ass goodbye. On a Bloody Mary morning, he was on the road again and Texas bound. He's living it up somewhere tonight, so he can write it down. They lived it up and wrote it down. They were more than drugstore cowboys. They've been bucked and bruised and kicked around. They took their pain, their voices rang, till the whole world sang that country sound. All because they lived it up and then lived to write it down. I think I'll live it up tonight. Sure hope I live to write it down. You want to try that accident that happened in Alaska?
Yeah, let's do that.
We're going to do
Well, in Alaska, I asked John to tell the crowd a Johnny Cash story. I said, you knew Johnny Cash, and you lived with Johnny Cash, right?
I did, I lived with you, I did, yes.
How did that come about?
I was, well, I'm slipping into it now, aren't I? I did a movie called Stagecoach, and it was Johnny and Waylon and Willie and Chris and a bunch of great people. And at the time we did it, the Highwaymen were really rocking it, and I had the #1 album in the country and the #1 song in the country. So John asked when we were done, where are you gonna tour? And I said, yeah. And he said, well, where are you gonna stay? And I said, I'll probably rent a place in Nashville. We'll hub in Nashville and tour from there. And he said, well, stay with us. Stay at the house. It's just us there, so we've got lots of room. So I said, are you serious? And he said, I am. And I said, okay. And that was it. So I showed up and lived with John and June for a year and a half or so.
Wow.
And it was great. I had the blue room, bottom of the stairs to the right. And then I lived in where John Carter now has his studio.
Oh, wow.
So we were in Alaska, and he said, I want to sing, what did you sing?
Ring of Fire.
He said he wanted to sing Ring of Fire. And I said, I want to do A Boy Named Sue. So this was what happened. I don't know if it's going to happen again.
How about
What year are you in?
How about Sunday morning coming down?
Well, my daddy left home when I was 3. Didn't
Well,
leave much.
love
So all
is a burning
just this old
thing.
guitar and an empty bottle of booze.
It makes a fiery ring.
Now, I don't blame him because he run and hid, but the neatest thing that he ever did was before he left, he went and named me Sue.
Bound by wild desire, well, I fell into a ring of fire. Well, I fell into a burning ring of fire. Went down, 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 and the flames went higher. And it burned, burned, burned. That ring of fire, that ring of fire.
Well, he must have thought that it was quite a joke, and it got a lot of laughs from lots of folk. It seemed I had to fight my whole life through. Cause some gal would giggle and I'd get red, and some guy'd laugh and I'd bust his head. I tell you, life ain't easy for a boy named Sue.
Yeah.
I don't know how we did this.
I think we were singing at that same time.
Okay, ready?
Well, the taste of love is sweet.
Keep singing, I'll get
Your
it.
hearts.
There's no way to get it when you're singing.
I fell for you like a child. Oh, but the fire went wild.
On an old
I fell into a burning
table dealer stud. Such a dirty name, you don't name me, Sue.
Flames went higher.
I knew that snake was mama's sweet dead from the war.
That ring of fire.
I knew that script on his cheek and his evil eye. He was big and bent and gray and old. No, I'm not singing that song. I looked at him and my blood ran cold.
Burn, burn, that ring of fire, that ring of fire, that ring of fire.
And I said, my name is Sue. How do you do? Now you're gonna die. Yeah, that's what I told him. So I hit him hard right between the eyes, and he went down, but to my surprise, he come up with a knife and cut off a piece of my ear. So I busted a chair right across his teeth. We crashed through the wall and into the streets, kicking and gouging in the mud and the blood and the beer. And I tell you, I'd fought tougher men, but I really can't remember when. Because he kicked like a mule and he bit like a crocodile. And I heard him laugh and I heard him cuss, and he went for his gun, but I pulled mine first. And he sat there looking at me, and I saw him smile, and he said, son, this world is tough, and if a man's gonna make it, this world is rough, and if a man's gonna make it, he's gotta be tough. And I knew I wouldn't be there to help you along. So I give you that name, and I said goodbye. I knew you'd have to get tough or die, and it's that name that helped to make you strong. Now, you just fought one hell of a fight. I know you hate me, and you got the right to kill me now, and I wouldn't blame you if you do. But you ought to thank me before I die for your gravel and your guts and your spit in the eye, because I'm that named you Sue. Yeah, okay, there you go.
Hey, can we try something else that's kind of on the cuff?
Absolutely.
There's a song that you're going to record next week.
What?
Oh, good. What's that
The
called?
songwriter song,
What?
Oh, yeah.
right? I think you're going to cut it.
We're cutting it. I can sing some harmony to that, but you got to sing the whole thing.
Well, the gentleman who is really responsible for that song is sitting right there. Terry Foss.
I love this song.
Terry, it's funny, you know, Hank Williams' grave is here in Montgomery, and I'm from Luverne, about an hour south. And I was headed back to Nashville, and I stopped and paid my respects a few months ago. And it was a beautiful day, the train passing by, and then all of a sudden I hear Terry's voice asking me, hey man, do you want to hear a song that I've started? And I'm thinking, oh, not really, not right now. But I'm like, all right, sure. And man, he had a great start on this song. It was just a great idea.
I love it.
Yeah, and then I headed back to Nashville, and the great Bobby Bear finished it with us.
I love it. I love it.
So just join in whenever. I mean,
Okay.
Well, I drove into Nashville with a sack of songs I wrote. Parked the car, walked in a bar not far from Music Row. And there sat a poet who's in the Hall of Fame. I knew the words to all of his songs. same time. Be careful what you wish for. You may get what you want. You think you want to be a songwriter like me, but you don't. He said, now I made a ton of money, but it went to my ex-wives. And the rest flew out the window when the IRS arrived. When you lose your home and all your songs, you'll find what you're made of. And son, by looking in your eyes, you ain't crazy enough. So go home to your family and leave guys like me alone. You think you want to be a songwriter, but you don't. Said the man, I was really something in my prime, but now my friends have all drifted off, and I'm down to my last dime. Be careful what you wish for. You may get what you want. You think you want to be a songwriter like me, but you don't. Now go home to your family and leave guys like me alone. You finish it out here now. You think you want to be a songwriter like me, but you don't.
Great song. The key to that one is going to be some very, very tight, like, "Oh Brother, Where Art Thou" harmony.
Yeah.
And I'm trying to find it here. That was not it, but when we get it, that's a great song. Great song.
Hey Terry, Terry's a big fan of your music too. How cool is that, Terry, to sit here in your hometown?
Well, hear me mess it up for you. That's a great song. Great words to that song. We have I'm going to do one. Do you know Jim Martin? Or you just know him? Okay. Okay.
We love you.
They went to the bathroom together. Wonder what they're doing back in there. He came back with half his shirt and boot on. Back in there, I think she left her hair. That's how John would do it. There's a whole lot of things in the world that people disagree on now. But there's one thing, and Jim Martin wrote a song about the one thing I think we can all agree on, and I'm going to play that song. We're going to play that song right now. The good book tells me I'm supposed to love, and I do my best, but sometimes my best just ain't good enough. And I just might need forgiveness for my candor, but I hate cancer. I guess the thing that I despise the most, once it gets a hold of you, it never lets you go, till it robs you of your happy ever after. I hate cancer. When I lay me down to sleep at night, I pray that those who have this lot in life they have to face, won't you give them all the strength they'll need to fight the battle fearlessly? God help somebody somewhere find the answer, 'cause I hate cancer. It don't matter who or where you are, Once it gets a hold of you, it leaves a scar. And it does so in a devastating manner. I hate cancer. It don't matter if you're an awesome mom or dad, or the best son or a daughter that a parent ever had. It'll take your best friend like it just don't matter. I hate cancer. When I lay me down to sleep at night, I pray that those who have this lot in life they have to face, won't you give them all the strength they'll need to fight the battle fearlessly? God help somebody somewhere find the answer, 'cause I hate cancer. You know, there's just something about a well-written song, and that one, I Hate Cancer, is just a wonderful,
We
wonderful
wrote a song for you too when you was gone, by the way.
We wrote a song about you, did
They
we?
wrote a song, yeah.
No, he's got both shoes on. And you have all your hair, that's
Had all his
good.
hair.
But this is one of the prettiest songs I've ever heard. Her friends have all been asking her to go out with him. Finally, last Friday, she gave in. She climbed up on that bar stool, felt so out of place, had to force a smile across her face. He said, girl, I know that look, it ain't hard to see. And I know you see it when you look at me. So I tell you what, you can talk about him, I'll talk about her, about how much we love them, about how much it hurts, how we can't move forward, 'cause we can't go back. We're like two trains on a gravel road, miles away from the tracks. Some things you can't get over, oh no, not so quick. It ain't like turning a page or flipping a switch. 'Cause when you lose somebody you've loved so many years, it's like half of you just disappears. So I tell you what, you can talk about him, I'll talk about her, about how much we love them, about how much it hurts, how we can't move forward, 'cause we can't go back. We're like two trains on a gravel road, miles away from the tracks. You know there's not some things in this old world last forever. Maybe that's a reason we were put together. 'Cause if you ain't been there, you can't go there. Good Lord knows that I've been stuck there too, same as you. So it's okay, you can talk about him, I'll talk about her, about how much we love them, about how it still hurts, how we gotta move forward, 'cause we can't go back. We're like like two trains on a gravel road. We're like two trains on a gravel road. We're like two trains on a gravel road, searching for the tracks. Well, that's just such a gorgeous. Who writes a song about that? It's just great.
How come you didn't sing on the Dukes of Hazzard?
How come I didn't sing on the Dukes of Hazzard? Because I knew that the Dukes of Hazzard would eventually end, and if I was a singer on the Dukes of Hazzard, my singing career would have ended with the show.
Yeah, but I mean, you had guest singers all the time. You didn't even sing at all on the show.
Same answer. Yeah, it would have tanked the singing career.
Yeah, well,
At the same time.
What you've done.
yeah.
What, sir?
Thank you for what
Oh, you're so welcome. I love it. Thank you. I've loved words. I wrote and directed the last episode of Dukes, and which hopefully wasn't why it was the last episode. But it's the one where Roscoe made Boss Hogg disappear, and it was great. It's called Opening Night at the Boar's Nest, and Roscoe cried because he had made his little fat buddy disappear and he couldn't bring it back. And I've always thought it was important to have a bunch of things in any story you tell should have all those emotions in it. So with the Odyssey, there's so many. We've got a wonderful song about hearing loss. I mean, we've got very unusual songs on there, but hearing loss runs in my family. So we have a. Let me play a little piece of song. Know any of it? His old rocking chair out on the porch, never heard the sound of that old screen door as I walked out, sat down beside him and surprised him. He, in his loud voice, he said, "These old ears have lost their touch after all these years. I wish they'd lasted longer, but they didn't." He said, "Nobody knows what they've got until it comes up missing. What I wouldn't give if I could just listen to October whistling through the limbs, raindrops dripping down on the tin, tires on that gravel stone, the sound of someone coming home, Grandma's wind chimes in the wind, her sweet voice calling me in. Oh, I want to hear it again." Wow. Isn't that great? Yeah, there's more to it, but I love songs.
Tell you what, not only a great singer, but you're really a good songwriter too.
Yeah!
Oh well, no, you really are.
Thank you, Bobby. Coming from Bobby, that's really great.
I mean, today, you told me that Beth took you on a tour of the museum, and next thing you know, you have a really great song started.
You just have to pay attention. That's all. So we're going to finish that song. It's a song about, she said that, she gave me a book that was 50 years old. She said they're all 50 years old. A friend of mine found these in the basement, and she said I found a box of books in the basement. I don't know what they are. And I thought, well, isn't that interesting? So I'm writing a song about how she found a box, not sure what it was. It was next to an old jukebox and an old beat-up guitar, and next to it was a wooden box with a hat inside. And in the hat, inside the sweaty brim, was one word written with a shaky hand. It was hard to read because of the dust, and it was so dark, and I can't remember what the rhyme was, but there was only one word in there, and it was written from half a hundred years ago. Oh gosh, it's on my phone, but it's Hank's hat, and inside Hank's hat in a scribbly, shaky ballpoint pen is one word. It's Hank. So we're going to finish that song, but you just have to pay attention, right? You have to pay attention. How does Toolbox start? Do you remember? He was a friend, he was a father, just an ordinary man but I swear he could work miracles with those two calloused hands. He never made a lot of money, but I thought we had a lot. And man, he tried to change the world in that red pickup truck and that old toolbox. It's one we had out for. I love it. I just sing parts of songs. And aren't the lyrics great? I had nothing to do with that song except we found it. And it's really about Alicia's dad, because Alicia's dad is the guy that fixes everything. You know, he can MacGyver anything. You know, give him a toothpick, a piece of string, and some chewing gum, and by golly, he can make a transistor radio with your filling, right? So I've kind of lost my train of thought here. If I even had one. Oh,
I'm going to leave you tomorrow.
oh, sure.
Woo!
This was the first country video ever recorded, by the way. Did it out in California, in Pomona, California, at a place called the Crazy Horse. And
Just saying.
I recorded this video before there were any videos, and I brought it to my producer in Nashville and said, "Here it is. Here's the first country music video ever."
Oh my God.
And he and the president of MCA both looked at it and said, "John, that's really great. That's great. But believe us when we say, you can spend your money any way you want, but believe us when we say, videos will never have anything whatsoever to do with the sale of country music."
For real?
Yeah, they're gone. They're gone.
Bye-bye.
But so this was that song.
Wow.
Maybe I've been wrong to start thinking over. Every time I thought of leaving you, 'cause you've always let me know the door was open. If ever I decided that we were through, that's country.
Yeah.
I'm gonna leave you tomorrow. I've had enough, that's all I've got to say. Yes, I'm gonna leave you tomorrow. That's the same thing I said yesterday. We sleep separately together, never touching. And you don't talk about it anymore. I guess you've just grown so used to having me around you that I'm just some old habit that you ignore. So I'm gonna leave you tomorrow. I've had enough, and that's all I've got to say. Yes, I'm gonna leave you tomorrow. That's the same thing I said yesterday. Woo! Thank you.
You know why that's so cool? After all these years, just looking around the room, I saw so many people singing along.
I love that. I love that. I love that. That's good. That's good to know. Speaking of those great songs, this is John Gerard wrote this song. You know you shouldn't be here. What am I supposed to do? Don't you know I found a new love? And I'm trying to be true. Didn't you say we were over? Why do you keep hanging on? You're no longer welcome. Can't you just leave us alone? What's a memory like you? Doing in love like, thank you, bitch. She thinks we're all through, but that's not the way it is. When I hold her in my arms, it's your lips I still kiss. What's a memory like you? Doing in a love like this. And don't you know it would hurt her to find you here with me? Why make me remember the way we used to be? Can't you see that she can love me the way you never could? And I really want to love her. Ain't it time you left for good? What's a memory like you? Doing in a love like this. She thinks we're all through, but that's not the way it is. When I hold her in my arms, it's your lips I still kiss. What's a memory like you? Doing in a love like this. What's a memory like you? Doing in a love like this. Woo! Thank you. Well, how are you?
Happy birthday to a lady over here.
Happy birthday to you. Let him see you, Gary. Happy birthday to you, Alicia. Happy birthday, dear Alicia. Happy birthday to you. This is my song for Alicia. I could feel a change on the day that I met you. The sky was painted the most perfect blue. From the moment I first fell into your eyes, I knew the sun would rise and set with you. I don't know how I ever lived my life without you. You fill me up with hope. You give me reason to dream. I breathe you in, now everything is all about you. Your love's flowing like a river through me. It's a sweet and peaceful feeling running through my heart. Every tender touch is gently healing every scar. When I look into the mirror, even I can see your love's flowing like a river through me. Woo! Yeah! Now people say there's a different glow around me, a longer laugh, a brighter smile, like music to my soul. Now I only live to feel your love that's around me. I found you and I'm never letting go. It's a sweet and peaceful feeling, it's running through my heart. Every tender touch is gently healing every scar. When I look into the mirror, even I can see love's flowing like a river through me. Your love's flowing like a river through me.
Steve Dorff.
Yeah, I have my smile back.
Yeah!
And a better smile than I've ever had.
That's a good title. I have my smile back.
Yes.
Steve Dorff song,
There's a,
right?
what's that?
Steve Dorff song.
Steve Dorff wrote that song.
He's been here. He's played.
Oh, Steve Dorff has played here. Most important, I'm trying not to pop my peas here, so most important lyric in that song to me is, you give me reason to dream. So, be someone's reason to dream. Man, woman, or child, be someone's reason to dream. Encourage huge dreams, because there's really not much sense in having a small one. Is there? And it doesn't matter what age you are, it doesn't matter what you've done or what you have not done. All that matters is what you are doing and what you are about to do. And be the person behind the person who does something amazing.
Yeah!
Be that person. There. Okay. That's what I got. Let me see. Do we do? Bartender, won't you pour another round? Are you okay?
Woo! He's all right.
I've got lots of reasons
It's all right.
for being here this evening.
Come on, baby. Go.
Don't you know they all revolve around? He wrote this too. He wrote all these
I
songs.
know you wrote it. I know you wrote it.
Almost all these songs. That old familiar story of lost love and glory. Golden hair, darkest eyes. For a moment she was mine. I wish the bars were always open for hearts that are broken, 'cause heartache doesn't have a closing time. There's nowhere to go at 4 a.m. except crazy as hell,
Woo!
or some cheap motel. I can't stand another night in our old bed, and there's no sense in sleeping, 'cause I'll end up dreaming of golden hair, darkest eyes. I'm still hers, but she's not mine. I wish the bars were always open for hearts that are broken, but heartache doesn't have a closing time. I need to be with those 3 friends of mine, Jack Daniels, Coke, and Ice. I wish the bars were always open for hearts that are broken, but heartache doesn't have a closing time. No, heartache doesn't have a closing time. Bartender, won't you pour another round? Thank you. What a great song. What a great song. Okay, gonna do 2 more. And one of them is off a song or an album called Ruffled Skirts. And this is a record that we actually cut. We had 2 floods in Louisiana in March. In 2016. In March, we had the 100-year flood that came right up. Imagine in front of the stage is your threshold of your house. Well, it came right up to there. And the barn and all the place where we do music at John Schneider Studios was lower than that, so it all got flooded. All of our speakers and microphones, and it was a mess in March. But, you know, we have a reason to dream, and we have a big dream. And we bolstered each other up, and Alicia and I rebuilt the studio and did 2 movies that summer.
Yeah.
Oh, it was great.
Alicia.
And then in August, we had the 1,000-year flood. And the 1,000-year flood, if that was the threshold, the 1,000-year flood would be over this microphone. So not only did it destroy everything we fixed, but it destroyed everything it missed in March. So 2016 was a bad year. But that woman over there saw me playing my guitar when I don't get depressed very often, but she saw me sitting over there. And she said, and I saw her see me, and I put the guitar down, and she said, "Why do you do that?" And I said, "Well, the guitar music kind of makes me feel better." And I honestly thought, I told her at one point about music, been there, done that, got a t-shirt. I really, because I had some experiences with a record label that I do not wish to repeat. But she said, "No, not why do you pick up the guitar, why do you put it down?"
That's right.
Oh, Alicia.
That's
I
right.
thought, huh.
Sweet.
So about a month later, we recorded a bunch of songs in the flooded living room of the house. And actually, I'm going to do one that I was not planning on doing. These are the kinds of songs. He sits on his front porch, stares across the street. Water's rising fast, nearly up to his feet. Neighbor passes by, says it's time to get out. But that old man just smiles, says, "I'm gonna ride this one out." 'Cause everything he owns lives inside his house, and everything he stands for that he can't live without. It's where his babies took their first steps, where his wife took her last. Lord, how do you stop the water when it's there to steal your past? Woo! Now he's wading through the memories, stuck in mud and sand. The faded photo albums of a much younger man. Kindergarten, high school, graduation day. Over 60 years of memories that just washed away. 'Cause everything he owns lives inside his house, and everything he stands for that he can't live without. It's where his babies took their first breath, where his wife took her last. Lord, how do you stop the water when it's there to steal your past? Please tell me, how do you stop the water when it's there to steal your past?
Yeah.
So I helped write that song. And that was about a man who was about 80 years old, and he'd lived through the March flood, and it was never going to be that bad in his lifetime again, because he was 80, and that was the 100-year flood. And then the August flood came around, and he lost everything. And everybody we know lost everything in Livingston Parish of Louisiana, and very few of us are left, but we're tenacious and we're sticking to it. So that song came out, but so did this one. And this is, I think, the new, not that god-awful Dukes of Hazzard movie. This is a new kind of Dukes of Hazzard song. He was burning tires by the light of the moon on a Georgia country road. He was hauling moonshine in the trunk of his car, laying on the Dixie horn. He was trying his best not to get caught by the sheriff and his gang. Radar on the dash and a dog named Flash. It was Roscoe P. Coltrane. Right?
Hang on.
He drove a 69 on his Dodge Charger with a 01 on the side. A 440 Magnum V8 engine, Skinner's flag was flying high. He was blowing Luke in love with Daisy Duke in TV's most famous ride. He was only 12, but he was raising hell every Friday night. He would slide across the hood of Dad's car just as cool could be. He had a Huffy bike, it was painted just like, he even called it General Lee. And every Friday night on his TV set when old Waylon sang that song, he was just a good old boy, wouldn't change if he could, so he cranked it up and sang along. In his mind he drove a 69 orange Dodge Charger with a 01 on the side. A 440 Magnum V8 engine, Skinner's flag was flying high. He was Bo and Luke in love with Daisy Duke in TV's most famous ride. He was only 12, but he was raising hell every Friday night. Yes, he was only 12, but he was raising hell every Friday night. Yeah! My fingers hurt. Thank you so much. Thank you so much. We're going to do one more, and you all know it. You all know the song.
What is it?
It's the theme from Smallville, of course. No. Right? That's all I know. You know, I read the words to that song. I read the words to that song today, and they're fantastic.
Yeah.
Somebody suggested, I don't know the rest of it, but somebody suggested we do the theme from Smallville, kind of like Clapton did Layla.
Uh-huh.
Somebody say, I don't know, we'll figure it out. But just a good old boy, never meaning no harm.
That's right, baby.
Beats all you never saw, been in trouble with the law since the day they was born.
Yeah.
Straightening the curves and on the flattening the hills. Someday the mountain might get them, but the law never will. Making their way the only way they know how. That's just a little bit more than the law would allow. We're all good old boys and girls. We've been changing we could. We're still fighting the system like a true modern day Robin Hoods. We're still fighting the system like a true modern day Robin Hood. Thank you, folks. I appreciate it. I'm going to be at a table signing somewhere. We got I Hate Cancer shirts and all kinds of buy you a beer shirts and stuff. Thank you so very much. Bobby Tomberlin, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you.
Charity, thank you for opening up the show. Thanks for the Queens Museum.
That's right, John Schneider Studios, and also John Schneider Studios on Facebook.
There you go. Right here on Street Travels.
Got it.
Take care, bud.
Thanks for coming. He's got the Bo Duke outfit on right now.